G'day swingers, welcome back to my channel. Giving you, I hope you enjoy. Today I've got some pay dirt, which I brought back from the creek in the last episode. I'll chuck a comment up in that corner. I think it's that corner actually. There'll be a little link to the video, but as you can see, this is the creek bed material, the silty clay with flood gravels between. So I'm gonna give that a crack. I've got about 6-7 litres or about 240 fluid ounces. So I'm going to get that panned out. I've got a sink classifier, which I've just put a couple of screws through. It just holds that in place on the bucket beautifully. And then I'm going to dump the classifier on top of it, work that, and then transfer it into the water so that it's all wet by the time I go to pan it, so it doesn't float away. And we'll pan out the largest material as well. I thought, before we go anywhere, I'll give you a quick little update on the garden and everything. So as you can see, a lot of things have died off. The heat we've had has been intense, like 45 degrees. I'll chuck a photo up here. There's a reading I got the other day. A lot of these maples have died off. Pretty much all the Pittus postrum has died, except for a couple that have survived. But otherwise, not many. That's just some rock I got cleaning up in acid, which I've got to get off my ass and start working through. The green sludge pond. Yeah, I drained that all the way down the other day and pulled all the water out. Gave it a scrub, but the algae is just fighting hard. I'm using algae fix, which doesn't seem to be doing much. I have catfish in there, they don't seem to be doing much. A couple of mussels, they're not doing all that much. So yeah, I think it's just the sun. I get direct sunlight from that way in the morning, comes across this way during summer, but during winter it's really low over there. But finally just about ready to pluck my first tomato. As you can see, this is loaded, which is good. Not bad for a first attempt at growing. It's a Siberian tomato. Midgeon berries are slowly berrying up, which is good. Been getting a few blueberries. I got 3 almost ready to go. That one there I reckon is good. Yeah, I'm gonna get, yeah, that fell off. Sweet as. Pepino melon has actually got a melon on it, which I'm supporting in that little black bag. Sapote is fruiting off its face. A lot of them have dropped off, that's fine. It's not gonna be able to support the weight, so I'll have to support that itself. Geranium's been loving it. Olive's been loving it. Pear tree's been loving it. The Joa tree has been absolutely smashing along because of this heat. So the locusts, the poor pansies absolutely copped it in the heat wave. Absolutely. Hence why I've got the shade sails up. But yeah, all these ones, can't remember what that is. It's perennial of sorts. That geranium is doing well, and this little bonsai I've created. And then widget bodies are doing really well. The costata has gone off, which is great. In the greenhouse, as you can see, we've got potatoes now, and they are taken over, which is amazing. Cut back the celery, restarting that. The broccoli went all leggy and started flowering, so yeah, I failed on that one, but you get that on the big job. It seems like it's sending out new shoots now anyway, so I don't know. I'll see how that goes. I cut the original head off this one, and it seems to be bouncing, so I don't know. Maybe. You can see I took the floret off that too, and off there, but I'm just getting these shabby florets that aren't doing anything yet, but I've got to learn all these things. Spring onion is kicking ass. This one's been cut back and reused. I actually had some at my goring last night. Beautiful. That tomato's kicking ass. Red capsicum, green capsicum, but all the bite marks are not from bugs, they're from my freaking cat. Carrots are going off, there's 16 in there. This tomato is kicking ass, now it's transplanted into the big pot. 16 more carrots in there, 7 beans in there. I got 3 broccoli in the ground here, 3 iceberg lettuce. This tomato plant just popped up, so don't know what it is. It's not exactly loving life, but hey, if it produces, it produces. This poor thing, the honeysuckle has really hated the heat. It's been dried out too much, unfortunately, but the rest of the garden's looking pretty good. except for the lawn. Poor lawn, you can see where the sun has been coming through. This side's been okay, but this has been hammered. So, learning curve for the first year in a house. What he can do. I'm doing fairly well considering. So, I'm going to start running that material. Yeah, probably shouldn't have mashed so hard with my fingers. I should have been using a rock from the start, but lesson learnt. That's what you get when you're an eager beaver. Now, I've also just realised I've got a little issue here. Because I've screwed that onto the bucket, I don't want to take it off to take it emptied out. MacGyver just had a thought. Alright, so I don't need that one, I need that one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take these screws out. Hopefully they're only a couple threads. Like maybe 2 or 3, 2.5, 3 threads really. But now I'm going to get these screws out of it. I'm going to replace it with that one, I think, if it'll go through. We go get the drill. Okay. Actually open that little file, but let's see, where's this going? Alright, that was a little bit more effort than I was hoping for. I ended up having to go get a file because I don't have an angle grinder, but I can now at least just take it off and transfer it where I want it. So, just going to get that in there. In fact, take that off now. Get all that fine material in there. Go into there, drop it back on the pins, pop, pop, holds the thread still, so it can't just pop off. Now I can get back to work. Let's do that. Alrighty, so I've actually found a new technique. This is the last little batch to go. As you can see, use a handle, and I can grind it against the edge of the classifier. I'm not poking through the middle, don't worry. And this thing has actually lasted me 15, 16 years now, so I mean, I'm obviously looking after my stuff, so don't worry, I'm not going to kill it. But, as you can see, this works so much better. Saves the hands from any damage. That's about as far as I'm going to go, I think. Now, the key with these things, if they do bulge out, just take the time to press them back in. That's how they survive longer. As I said, this one has literally survived about 16 years so far. This was the very first classifier I ever purchased for a 10-inch pan, which was, I believe, that one there. I still have every pan I've ever owned. So, pop that off. And that'll do. So I've got 2 pans of fines, one of the pan of large material, and then in here, oh, there's a bit in there. It's a good 2 or 3 inches thick in the bottom. Oh, sorry, I almost got you in the face. Yeah, sweet. I mean, it's a lot of clay and silt, but I will de-silt that. Alright, so as you can see, I have de-silted that as best as I can without actually flushing it properly. As you can see, there's a lot of sandy material. So I'm going to pan, I'm going to do it in the order you should, largest to smallest. So firstly, I'm going to give it a little bit of a massage to get any loose material off these rocks, because there's some that are holding some material, like that piece of clay. It doesn't matter, I miss one or two balls, it ain't gonna bother me really. Need another bucket. Here's one I prepared earlier. Oh, it's actually getting quite stagnant and stinky. I think I might want a separate bucket. I don't want to contaminate this. Yeah, I know, I've got buckets galore, but that's what happens when you have fish tanks. 14 10-litre buckets here, just to get rid of gravels, and then 3 were for actual water from the tanks, just to make sure I had the right bacteria when I got around to transplanting them. So I'm just going to have a quick look. I'll go through and I'll separate that quartz out later and have a look. Might be worth a bit of a crush. Probably not though, generally not. I'm just getting it rough down. I'll add more in. Again, I'm going to grab more of that. One pan down. The original pan, you can see a crack in the bottom, but it's alright. Still does my job. A bit hard on that last one, but get that on the big jobs. Holy shit! There's a speck of gold! Fuck yeah! Excuse my French, but don't excuse it. That's just who I am. Into the fine batch now. First pan, as you can see, I'm just taking this gently. I only put 1/4 of a pan in there because this stuff will be a pain in the ass. Being it's so fine, it's all going to want to sit together very tightly. So, take your time. One technique I have figured out, as you can see, with the finer material, because it likes to sit there really heavy. Give it a good shake first, get it nice and classified down, make sure all the gold's settled. Once it's settled, then basically tilt a little bit, plunge and lift, plunge, lift. Don't worry about trying to pull it out, otherwise the motion will lift up any loose gravel and spit it out as you're doing this. So as it comes in, it picks it up, and then when it goes back out, it sucks it out of the pan. So very gentle and easy way to do it. I'm not going to lose gold because of the angle of the pan and all these riffles in the way. I will be double checking that. All the larger stuff I've done so far, I've already double checked. Not a single speck has made through my panning, so doing the right job. And that's about as far as I want to take it for now, I think. One more run actually, with another little shake, make sure everything's down deep, settled before I pan. Now you can see I can just gently take it off the top, nice and easy. That's as far as I'm going to go for now. Alright, POV time. So last bit here in the smalls. Just going to give it a little tap just in case. Ooh. Is that a fine speck of gold I've seen? Possibly. Won't know until we get to the bottom. But I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tap skis. just to settle anything that has dropped in there. And just gently, I mean, I can do this again because I'm at home, it's no rush. One of my biggest little tricks that I've found, to walk down the material that you've got out the way already. Don't touch the top half, just keep it at the bottom half. There's that little flaky of gold. As you can see, that spreads it out again, which means I can just gently start rocking back again. Keep your eyes peeled as you're going. There's another bit of gold trying to show up, so I'm just going to pop this rocks out the way. Oh, look at that. There's actually some nice colour. Not a huge amount, but I'm happy. It was worth it. Definitely worth it. That tells me if that creek ever runs, get the high banker in there. There's a little bit of fines in there. You can see I'm just gently running the water over the top. I'm not trying to pull too hard backwards. That's all fine gold. That's silver. There's a bit of fines in it though. Nice bally bit too. I got a floater. A couple of floaters actually. Anyway, that's the fine stuff from the minus kitchen strainer. Out of the middle one, I ended up with 1 speck and 3 lead shot that didn't make it through the kitchen strainer. I'm guessing this piece was just stuck to one of these rocks somewhere, otherwise that should have made it through the classifier. And the large material also gave up 1 little flake. So I'll get that all together and we'll show you what that looks like in one pile. Alrighty, swinging. So as you can see, that's all the gold in the pan. Not overly a lot, but certainly worth the time and effort. I'll get that out onto the scales and I'll chuck a photo up here for you. And we'll definitely have to be going back to that creek and putting in some more time and effort for sure. As yeah, if that's only from probably about 2 pans worth of material, as in 2 full 16-inch pans, then yeah, it's definitely worth putting in some time and effort. It's certainly worth running a high banker if I get the chance. Unfortunately, it's a seasonal creek. It's dry as shit. I've never seen it with water in it other than small puddles, so I'm sure it does flood at some point, but I don't think it actually runs, so to speak. I have not seen it do so since I discovered the area. But yeah, happy days. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until the next episode, good luck and happy swinging. See you later.